This is Zeus coming to you live, Planetship Earth. As foretold in days of past, and I don't even know who the people were that told us this, but we're traveling at an astounding rate of speed. And I thought to myself, okay, whatever, I'm here, I'm now, this is my presence. What is it that I really want as a being, right? I don't even know what I was thinking before when I thought, you know what, I'm going to do a video and ask this question or whatever it was I was doing. I was actually going through my daily spending. I'm at $12,000 today, so I'm putting something together. Been thinking about a charging system to be installed onto electrical vehicles, all electrical vehicles, to extend the actual usage time. See what happens, I don't know. Every day and every way it gets better, better, and better. And today is the day of my amazing good fortune because I'm here. And what is it that I can do for the collective, because I am that I am, and I start with me and then I work out from there, right? And it's an interesting thought that the universe is on your favor, or in your favor, on your favor. We're riding you like a surfboard, right? It's funny. The stories that come as life generates itself, and it's always an unfolding of some type of discovery, a discovery of something that would actually cause my expectations and my desire to say, you know what, I want to find out more about this stuff. And that fuel right there is what propels me into the past. I believe that it was actually summed up in a statement: you're either growing or you're dying. What are you growing to? What is it the expectations of you are today? Today, in the now, because if the past truly is but an imaginative state, and it is, because you really can't touch it. Now you can touch this video. Now I'm saving something here, right? But am I truly saving it? And based upon, Schrodinger's cat, where they fucking put a cat in a box now, nobody knows whether that cat's alive or dead. But in perceptive value, does that cat become unalive at perception of it being a dead cat? Or does it become alive at perception, being that it would be a live cat? Now that, in the studies, it showed that truly the mind does have a powerful way of doing things. And so now what is the meaning of thought and thinking and then belief? Because a belief is only a thought that I have been thinking over and over and over again until it became a belief pattern, right? Now, you said belief pattern? What do you mean? Belief is just a belief. Well, it's a pattern of thinking that believes in vibrational frequency inside the field to make it real, because it's all the same atoms out there in the field, the same atoms here, same atoms in between us, the same atoms on the paintings, the same atoms. They're all just vibrating at different rates of speed in the belief of the expectation of the beholder or the observer. And outside of the observer's expectation is now the quantum state of becoming that which the observer thinks is true. That is some interesting mind thought to think about they're conscious. They listen to you. They love you. They feel you. They hear you, right? And that is all we've ever asked for. It's the thing is, when I lost my ability to control what was spewing out of my mouth or thinking in my thoughts, because I just thought it was just a thought, because I was never really trained in thinking, right? And I was never really trained in negative thinking, but I hung out with enough people to where my thinking process became like them. And then I became the very bearer of bad news for myself in one form or another. I'm either giving myself power or I'm taking it away because I'm the victim of hapless events such as. And with that being the case, or that would grant me the ability of becoming the victim, and it's no longer my ability to fix the situation, and now I have to graft myself to something outside of me to give me some semblance of strength, right? And I know it's persuasive in its own mindset, but the mindset in itself is an incorrect mindset, because if I, the observer, find in this moment some form of guilt, it will be there. And that's only by actions that I chose to do, right? Why? For one reason or another, most of it's self-centered fear. It's true. It cannot happen to me, but it can. And what comes behind that is the beauty of the power you put forth into expectation, which does, again, bonus itself into a manifestation of some form of belief. And it's, what am I programming myself for? What is my expectations? A choice. Because I am the thinker of my thoughts. And the thinker of my thoughts becomes the commander of the voyage. What choice have I truly made? Where is it that I am going in my exploration of that which is beyond? And can I break out of the cycle of boldly going no place nobody's ever gone before, which was a program sent in by Star Trek, right? So we're going to continue to explore, which is a program. And that was a program that ran a lot. You know, you get into that port of discovery with the person that you want, and now everything's cool. Now all these other voyages are all lining up around you in order to benefit from the love frequency that you've built up from within yourself. And now, where are we going? And see, that's the key point. Now, boldly going where no one has gone before. A program. So someone gets to this point, you're either growing or you're dying, so that's where a partnership, this is my belief, okay? For the person that I choose to be with will be the person that chose to be with me by movement towards me. And then with that, with the ability to come together as a team, to boldly together go. Thinking and in thought and the books that we read and stuff like that. Why? Because we're a team. And that's the amazing thing about it. Sharing interests, sharing devotion, going forward together as a team. I got your back, you got my back. There ain't nothing else like it. The only times that it becomes a bother is if I'm wanting to do something without that person, and if that's the case, then it's not my best friend. And I was diverted by some sexual attraction or something like that, because they'll want the same thing with me, because two together, now they say, 1 + 1 is 2, right? So now we got 2, but when when you become that one version, just like water, you put 2 drops of water together, it becomes one more bigger cell. So that right there, and anytime 2 or more come to an agreement upon anything, heaven and earth step aside and they make it happen, right? Positive or negative, it just depends on how you're thinking, right? Because again, it comes down to the thought process and what do I truly want? And moving into that thought process, which takes exercise. How am I lining up my thoughts every day? Am I building the love up within me to be able to pour out? Because remember, love is kind of a persuasive, and it's been a taught thing that we think it's something outside of us. And that's the interesting thing. It is, the kingdom of heaven is within, right? And that the builder and the giver of love is the feeler of love. You feel every ounce of love that you give, and that is your gift. That is your gift to the world. It's to give up all those other things. So that's spiritualism. That's what spiritualism is all about, because all this other stuff is just 3D matrix. And it's like, well, okay, so what is it that I really need to do? Be happy. Do the very best you can in everything you do and feel good now, because the feeling state itself is the giving of your feeling is your frequency. That's the frequency. That's raising up everything that's around you. You see, we don't harm people. We make sure that every encounter we have with other people, all that's involved are benefited in some way, shape, or form. Which is it's a challenge sometimes. But if it's the right circumstance, it will always materialize that way. And so then that's when we decide to be that. And then when we decide to be that, regardless of everything else around us, because everything else around us has got to either come into flow or it will disappear. It's vibrational alignment, but that's you coming into focus of who you are. See, it's beyond all the mathematical, we gotta line this up, and your subconscious brain already knows all that stuff. The only thing that you need to really focus on is how you're lining up in your own heart. Everything else put aside. Remember, you're a genius in every aspect of being, because if you knew all that it took to be right here, right now, you would say, OMG, right? Because you couldn't keep up with it. Because you're just the conscious extension of much greater, right? And this avatar body here, which is amazing. You know what? Read the book, The New Psycho-Cybernetics by Dr. Maltz. Give you a little insight of all the particulates, and it's just like, wow, overwhelming. The complexity of everything. Just the movement of the hand, you know, you see the tracers, well, there's actually are tracers, because you're reanimating every movement that you move. Funny, huh? Science. Such an interesting thing. Anyway, it was good to come on. I don't know if I really encapsulated any really thought out there, other than, you know, to do good unto all people. It's really the truth of being doing good to yourself and figuring out what it is that you really need to do in order to come into alignment with yourself. We do a really simple thing, right? If you'd like to, what we do is we just breathe. I'm going to breathe in 6 seconds. Then we're going to hold it, then you push up from your perineum, which is your butthole. You push up, and then the bottom muscles just push that little energy that's up there. You hold it for 8 seconds, and then you release out of the nose for 10 seconds. And then breathe in through the nose for 6, hold for 8, release for 10. We'll do that for about 3 or 4 breaths, all right? There we go. Sometimes that's good when you actually, it's an interesting way where you can actually get into that part where you do the breathing and then you look inside, you close your eyes, and hold your hands close to your heart, and that gives you a linking to in the mind of where the heart's at, and you're there. And then you see a light just in your heart there. You see a white light. And then you expand that white light to around your heart. And then your body, you see that white light. And the white light fills the room. Remember you're breathing, right? And then the white light fills your city, where you're at. Breathing. This fills your state, country, your world, your white light. White light. I am prospering in all my affairs today. I am prospering in all my affairs today. That's an interesting. Dr. Murphy, he said to say that. And we got Napoleon Hill. Whatever the mind of man can conceive and bring itself to believe, it can achieve. Whatever the mind of man can bring itself to believe, it can achieve. That's an interesting thought, isn't it? I believe it. Anyway, it was a great video. Blessings, everyone. Remember, if you want to put any donations on us, it's # Global Peace Project. Blessings.
Remember, every day and every way you get better, better, and better. And today is the day of your amazing good fortune. You got this.